All right, let's talk about another controversial topic. And welcome, guys. Professor EDC. Tongue twisters. Anyways, where is the value of a knife? This is a topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about. This is a topic that there's just a whole lot of taboo involved, and a lot of different points of view, different stands, some that are well sustained, some that are just opinions, and well, opinions are just not facts, right? So we have to take a lot of things into consideration, and I have brought to the table perfect examples, I think, of what we are talking about. But before that, we just don't buy a $500 knife, right? For just for functionality. Let's just start right there. If we are looking for functionality and depending on our needs and our tastes, now let's make a difference right there. One thing is a need, which is might be a fact. For example, if we are gardeners, well, then we're going to need a certain specific tool, whereas our taste is based on subjective input, on subjective matter. So we are always going to have this controversy between input that is, or information that is objective, and information that is subjective. So I think that the most important thing is to balance those out and to recognize each and every one of those in order to make a better decision and to have clear what we want, what we need, what we like. Right? So, we all know that these articles, that these items and tools, when they are not simple tools for work, we are talking about, this is not a basic necessity. These are ephemeral articles that give us some type of satisfaction, some type of pleasure, when they are not working tools. Because if they are working tools, well, we can just have something like this, which is not expensive, and which is going to make a pretty good working tool. In any case, and by the way, by saying that it's a working tool, I'm not saying that it's not a beautiful one, because at least for me, it is. But that's also going to depend on the baggage of each one of us, and baggage is also a very, very important thing in the knife world and in our lives in general, in the art world. So, as for example, the Open L. This has been a working tool, at least for Frenchmen, for a long period of time. And yes, it might not have the most recent locking mechanism. And by the way, I forgot. Yes, I forgot two knives that I wanted to show. Anyways, let's continue. It doesn't have the most premium and recent modern and hyped up steel, but this knife cuts like a demon. As a matter of fact, I can tell you this blade will cut better than any of the other ones right here. Just a fact. I've tested that blade on different materials throughout time, and I can still say that's gonna cut better than what you see right here. It doesn't matter the price range or whatever, but it's all going to depend on our use and necessity. When I say use, I'm talking about a necessity and our taste. Now we might say, well, my use is Instagram and just take pictures and have them there. And this may make a perfect picture knife, right? And it does. But you see, that's a different necessity. That's a different use. Now, again, where is the value of a knife? Yes, of course, we have to take into consideration the materials. Yeah, handle materials, the steel being used. If it's a new steel, if it's a premium steel, which not always premium and new are the same. And here we have titanium, but we're not only talking about materials, right? Here we have a beautiful carbon fiber and titanium. And these are materials that right now are in, right? As I can say for, again, here we have titanium, carbon fiber, and then magnets, a magnetic system, which is awesome. And also another thing, the fidget factor, awesome, right? But what we are talking about here, we're talking about different necessities. And what if we only need this? I don't have to go and buy a Jack Wolf when all I need is this for my day-to-day. And this is a great knife. Are they the same? Do they cut? Yes, both of them cut. Are they the same? No, they're not. I can fit a piece of paper right there between the handle and the bolster. Can you see? Right there. Same as over here. And that's another thing we have to talk about. Precision and how well each of these knives are put together. Here we have another budget knife that's a great user. But then again, you see it on Instagram and you see awesome pictures, and it's also being used just for picture taking. So it's not a matter of criticizing one side or the other, but rather understanding. And there is, yes, we have a wonderful, in many cases, a wonderful knife community, a wonderful EDC community, but at the same time, let's not forget that this all begins with one, and that's right, each and every one of us. And we start from there, and we start from taking the first step and learning and knowing what we're going to use our knives for. Is it because of a tendency? Is it because of a real use? And that's something that each and every one of us has to have clear. This is one of the best hard-use knives out there, still, at a good price. Now, I liked the hollow grind that they had before better than this flat grind. I think it was a better knife, back when it was hollow, but it still is a good knife. There's a, what is this? Is it a fly or is it a bee that's bugging me? And let's continue. Another great user. And this in Nick Shabazz's video of diminishing returns, I still believe this is the best knife out there when we talk about diminishing returns. This is still the best folding knife at the best price that you can get. No doubts about that. Materials wise, steel, the precision of the make, a crossbar lock that functions even better than the original ones, that is Benchmade. And then we take a huge leap into Chris Reeve, the best production knife out there. I believe so. The king of blades, in my terms. But is this just a user? I don't think so. Can a Volkswagen Beetle take us from one city to the next? Yes, of course. And I love the Beetle. But so can a Mercedes-Benz, right? And why do we buy different things like that? Well, it depends on each and every one of us. And what we can do is be informed and know what we are talking about. Study, learn a bit about the steels, about the materials, about the composition, about the precision in the making. When we talk about NASA precision, well, you have to take that into consideration, as well as other things. But these are things, you know, sometimes there's a lot of people that go around saying, without really investigating, that beauty lies in the eye of the beholder. Yes, up to a certain point. But that the eye of the beholder also, there are different levels of comprehension. For example, there's just a whole lot of people that don't understand, that mention that they wouldn't buy something higher than a Rough Rider. And that's okay. But their level of comprehension is, in many cases, well, just par with Rough Rider. And I don't mean that in a bad sense. It's like when we go to school, right? Some people are in first grade or kindergarten, and then some people are in high school or university or doing a master's degree or a doctorate, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. The more you know, the better the purchase is going to be, at least for each and every one of us. I'm not saying in general. I'm not saying one is going to be better than the other. I am saying that each and every one of our purchases is going to be better for us. For example, I have evolved in my knife collecting, and I had more than 200 different blades, ranging from Kershaw CRKT and whatnot, what's this, Wally's and etc. But I got so interested, I got so hooked up that I started learning. I got curious and got bit by the curious bug and by the learning bug, and you know, that's something I always enjoy. And so it took me to a different place, as it has taken me now with traditionals, with slip joints, and I love where that rabbit hole is taking me. Appreciating the interpretation of Ben Belkin, for example, from knives like this to modernize them into something like this. And I love both of them. I think there is space in my life for both of them, as this Carl Schleiper. I love this knife. Really, really love this Sudbuster-like, right? Here comes the rain. As I absolutely adore my Umnumzan, as I enjoy using my Dog Ritter RSK MK blah 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 blah, and each and every one of them, I simply adore the Factor, or as I've now call it, Tinkerbell, right? As I enjoy my Open L. So, but there is there has been a purge along my collecting, my knife collecting. So where can we find the value of a knife? Amongst different factors. 1, knowledge. 2, growth. Growth in the topic. Personal growth in the topic. And I'm talking about, in this case, the knife world. Just as an art collector starts off with X painting and then grows and trades and sells and grows into buying perhaps a Rembrandt or a Van Gogh or Remedios Varo or something like that. And I don't know, here is my Van Gogh. And of course, there are higher pieces out there. Will I get there? I don't know. I am enjoying this stage of the road. And I have enjoyed Jason Guthrie and Daniel Cowart and so many others that you can see on the channel. But I keep on learning. And to each and every one of us, that's where the value is at. Materials, yes. Precision making, yes. How about, what's the word? Essence, yes. But that's something that also needs to be learned and seen, I think. As I've mentioned before, good taste. And though some people don't like that term, it is something that our parents have worried about us learning, and so have our grandparents, and so have our great-grandparents, and so on. Why? Because it is something that is there and that is important, and that it makes us want better things. But let's not fall into the trap of this obsessive buying. That's something else. That's something different, and it doesn't have to do with good taste, and it doesn't have to do with what we are talking about here, with a value of something like this, with valuing what we have. And I'm not talking about only knives. So this was a long video, I think, 20 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. Professor EDC out.